What's up, guys? Chris Crone here. Today we're talking about making money buying and selling real estate. I've done thousands of transactions. I'm going to show you the most intelligent way to do this, and I'm going to explain it for a 12-year-old, or maybe someone who's only as tall as a 12-year-old.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
All right, let's do it. Let's show you how to freaking crush it in the game of real estate. Revealing, da-da-da-da-da. This is Marianne. You've seen her before. She's been on the channel before.
Hey guys.
Marianne is shorter than most 12-year-olds, but she is a giant of women and men. She's freaking rock star. Definitely my right hand in building this business and what we do together. She's amazing and incredible. If you've been to one of our live events, you've seen the power of this woman on stage. She's incredible. And a successful real estate investor. What's up?
Well, thanks to you, bro.
Awesome. So check it out. What we're going to do here today is I'm going to kind of break this down for Marianne, for all of you. Because Marianne, let me just ask you real quick. Do you consider yourself a real estate Jedi?
Oh, heck no. That's why I have you.
But you own the real estate.
Of course I do.
And you love the ownership and the
I got
perks.
the ownership and I got the cash flow and I'm making money on real estate, but I knew nothing when I got started in real estate.
How much money has your last home appreciated by?
Oh, $130,000.
100. Yeah, she does so casually, like Prada is like.
It's petty cash.
Petty cash, Chauncey, $130,000. So what I want to do is I want to break down how you do this. Now, let's make sure that we get some clarity with each other right now. I am not talking about this idea of a realtor. I'm talking about the idea of an investor, but I do want you to understand both of these right now. A realtor is someone who says other people are buying and selling homes. I have a license and I'm going to represent you and I'm going to earn a commission for helping you buy something or sell something. And by the way, realtors, I mean, you sell a $200,000 house. If they get a 3% commission, it's $6,000.
Well, you're still trading hours for dollars, though.
You are, but Marianne, you could be doing $1 million house.
Once.
And now you're going to make a lot more money.
Great.
But for the average realtor, they never do more than 2 deals in their lifetime. We're not talking about realtors today. We're talking about making money the way that you can make it way bigger than that. We're talking about doing that as an investor. And so I'm just going to kind of move realtor right off the page there. I certainly have nothing against realtors. I don't have my real estate license. Rather, I'm the investor. And as the investor, I am owning and controlling the asset for a period of time. And then I'm going to sell it and multiply and make more. So let's kind of break this down super basic for everyone who's watching today.
Because I got a 12-year-old. Well, she's 13 now, but I want her to be able to do this because you know what? She's not going to be raising the same lifestyle.
We're making this video for her.
Right.
All right, awesome. So I have a picture of a house. When I buy this house, we're going to say V stands for value. This is a house that actually, let's just say, has a value of $100,000. We're going to keep it super basic today. Now, first of all, someone looks at that and says, well, I guess I'll never own a house.
Right, because who has 100 grand?
Who has 100 grand? Fortunately, banks understand this. So banks say, well, if you wanted to buy it and you're going to live in it as opposed to paying rent, we're just going to ask you to put a little bit of money down. They might say, we're going to have you put 3% down, which 1% of 100,000 is $1,000. So 2% would be 2,000. So 3% is
3,000.
Okay, so $3,000, a lot of people, if you got a full-time job, you can save up money over several months. It took me 14 months when I was dirt poor. I saved up my $5,000 in the bank. I put $3,000 down on a house very similar to what I'm explaining right here. So now we've got this house, $3,000 down, and now you actually have the O here for what is owed. Well, guess what's owed on this house? $97,000. Why? Well, I put $3,000 down. My balance is $97,000. That's my $100,000 house. That's what we call a mortgage. That can be a scary language for someone. It's a fancy way of saying if you don't own the house, then you pay rent. If you own the house, you pay mortgage. Rent goes to the landlord. Mortgage goes to the bank.
It's also a fancy way of saying I'm adulting now.
I'm adulting. All right, so I'm an adult. I'm making this thing go down. So let's talk about a few more key points. How do you actually make money on something like this? Number one, if you actually bought it for yourself, guess what you can do? You can rent out other rooms and still live in it. And guess what they can do? We're going to come back here and say, oh, my mortgage costs me $600 a month.
Pretty average.
And then you say, well, I could rent. Let's just say that I have 2 roommates and they each pay me $350. I'm now collecting $700 a month. What's my mortgage? 600. Uh-oh. We now have leftover money because this month I get paid $700, $350 from this roommate, $350 from this roommate, $700, but guess what? $600. I now am getting paid to live for free. Does it make sense? Okay.
You're paying the bank $600 a month.
Yes.
These two roommates are paying you $350 each, which means you're living for free and you're cash flow positive.
Well, it's actually so much deeper than that. Here's what I actually want to show you. Here are the benefits of doing this. Number one, you could live for free.
It's a big expense for most people.
Yes, but it gets better than that. Number one, I'm actually getting paid, so earning. You might be saying, well, Chris, what if I actually have 3 roommates? It's a 3-bedroom house. 2 of them share, so they pay a reduced rent. One of them has a private room. I have a private room. It's a 3-bedroom home. And you might be like, oh, so I'm not collecting $700, now I'm collecting $1,000. Well, in that situation, you might be earning $400 a month and living for free. By the way, I recommend this for young people all the time to do this. There's more benefits though. Someone else is paying the mortgage, but every month that $600 is paid, maybe $500, $550 are going towards interest, but there's $50 to $100 every month going to principal, which means the value, this home that has $97,000, next month I actually owe $100 less because a part of my payment goes to pay that down. Now it's actually $96,900. The next month it's $96,800. You fast forward for 5 years and guess what you've done? So you have actually, I call this principal reduction, meaning what's owed gets reduced, it gets lowered. So that's it. So I get to live for free, I get to earn, I get principal reduction.
So how does principal reduction work in your favor?
Well, it means that if every month that I make a payment, even though someone else is paying it, my mortgage goes down. When I someday sell that house or I can refinance it, meaning go back to the bank and renegotiate terms and say, bank, I actually have paid this thing down, I want some money back. And the bank says, well, sure, you've done a good job. You've been paying it down. You're like, ha, 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 ha. My roommates have been paying it down. You fool. They don't care. Like, bottom line is, they just want their money back. So you're making someone else pay for the biggest asset that someone will ever buy, biggest commodity.
So your monthly payment itself is not going down, but the amount you owe on the house is.
Yes, so that's another benefit. Then you also pick up tax benefits.
Okay, this is the part where people, I personally got super confused. Tell me about tax benefits for these properties.
There's so many. Like, let's just say for a moment that you actually have a home-based business. We're in the gig economy. People got side hustles. So let me ask you, do you run any of that side hustle out of your house? If you do, then it's like, do you have an office or a place where you do? You might be able to take 20% of your house mortgage, which would be $80, and say, $80 a month gets written off because I use my house for business. Also my car, also my this, also my that. You might also have expenses that you get right off. Did you know that if you live in this house for 2 of the next 5 years, that when you sell it, on the money you get as a gain, you don't have to pay taxes on it, no capital gains? By the way, your house that you've lived in, because you've lived in it the last 5 years, if you sold that house, normally, let's just say you have a $130,000 gain, then the government's gonna say, ha-ha, I want you to give me some of that cheddar, give me 40 grand. And then you're gonna say, loophole.
Live there.
I lived here for 2 of the last 5 years, so guess what? I don't have to pay gains. Winning, right?
Yes.
Winning. So real estate has so many benefits, but I want you to understand this. Renting is just one of the ways to make money. You might say, I don't want to do that. So let's actually take our scenario and let's make some changes. Let's say instead of a 3% down payment, we're gonna say, actually, I don't want to live in this house. I want to put 20% down. So we change the numbers. And what that looks like over here is we don't put 3% down, we put 20%.
Now that's mandatory standard.
That's if you're not going to live in it. Non-owner occupied, meaning I'm the owner, but I don't occupy it, so it's non-owner occupied. They're going to say, ooh, you need to put 20% down, not 3%. There's higher risk because I don't know what you're going to do with the house. You're like, well, on this, I take this 20% and of 100,000, how much is that? It's $20,000, right? And you're thinking, oh, Chris, I don't got $20,000. I get it, but you know what? You don't have to. You know somebody that does. I have a program called Maverick that says, I've done thousands of homes. I find the best deals in the country. And if you share my track record with other people, I will get you in on the deal. It's gonna be incredible. So now you're putting more down. This means that your mortgage isn't $600 a month. Your mortgage might now be $480 a month. It might go down then proportionally.
So there's a benefit to this.
There's more cash flow.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden, if I'm renting it to roommates for $1,000 and my payment's $480, I have $520 left over. But this is where it gets crazy. Instead of renting, we're gonna go to option number 2. And number 2 here is one of my favorites. I call it a lease option. Now, a lease option, if you've got a copy of my book here, so this is Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. I just had this updated for the new economy, some cool stuff about to go down in the economy. In this book, I document a way to say, hey, don't just rent it to roommates. You're not even living there. Put a family in that home that wants to buy it. And what benefits are they going to get? Number one, they will usually pay more than rent. If it could rent for $1,000, they'll pay $1,200.
Why?
Because now they're saying, actually, I'm going to own this and I'm going to live in it, and no one else renting is doing that. You're a rare commodity that says you're willing to do seller financing. Means
What we call compassionate financing.
I call it compassionate financing. Technically, it's called seller financing.
Okay.
It means that I own the house and I'm going to be the bank. I'm going to finance it to you instead of saying, I'm just listing and selling it. It's actually, I'm the bank, I'm holding it. And so all of a sudden they say, well, if we're going to do that, Chris, we're going to give you on average $5,000 up front. I just bought the house. A month or two later, I'm getting $5,000 up front. They're paying a superior rent. And that superior rent, may mean, I have a $480 payment. I'm collecting $1,200. Am I saying, guys, we're talking about over $500 a month plus a positive cash flow. Deals like this exist. And so just between those two alone, then you say, when I sell this someday, I want to sell it in 5 years, but I'm not going to sell it for less than $120,000 because I got a deal on the house. Remember, I owe $100. Here's $120. I've secured $20,000. I'm making $500 a month. That's an extra $6,000 a year. I got my tax benefits. All of a sudden,
you didn't even owe 100 on it because you put that 20% down. You only owe 80.
you got it. So now actually it's even more.
Right.
So lease option is a way to do it. Rent is a way to do it. But now I'm going to share with you my favorite. Number 3, Marianne, my favorite thing to do, I'm going to call it Maverick. Maverick means is an individual. It's a man or woman that goes outside the box, and what they're basically saying is, I am not following society's pattern. I'm going to create my own. I'm not going to do things the way everyone else is telling me. I'm going to get out of the box. I'm a maverick. I got outside the box.
Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise kind of maverick, right?
Yeah, I like that movie too. What I do is I basically say, I've done thousands of homes. Don't go in your backyard. Go into the best markets. I will give you the deals. Literally, because I find them every single day.
Chris Crone gives you the deal.
My deals that have 20, 25% ROI with my track record.
Right.
And if someone decides to actually become a maverick, by the way, you can learn more about that if you click the link in the description. You need to get educated. Talk to Marianne and her team about that. It's epic. I basically give them the best deals in the very best markets. Why would they want this? Well, because ROIs on these homes, it's pretty standard for them to be 25% projected.
Now this is insane because I've talked to a lot of people and they're happy with 8 or 9%. The experts out there are getting 13%. You're getting almost double that.
401ks and IRAs have habituated us that 4 or 5 is standard.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, anytime someone gets double digit, they kind of go nuts.
Well, they do.
We're doing not just basic double digit, we're doing a very, very serious double digit. That 25% is a really, really big deal. It's something you want to be aware of because it means how long does it take to double your money? If it's 25%, 4 quarters makes a whole, 100, right? So 25 plus 25 is 50.
Correct.
Plus another 25 and 25 is 100.
Right.
25% a year means how many years to double my money? 1, 2, 3. Every 4 years I double my money. My goal is to double money every 5 years. If you can do that and you get your hands on some real estate, then you're going to crush it. Now, on these deals, there's going to be some cash flow, a couple $100 here and there. But when you go to sell it, there's a huge lion's share of money coming in. Guess what you do? I buy a house. I use somebody else's money to put it up to be able to get the house, because if you don't have it, or if you do have it, great. There's a link in the description to learn about that. But you take this house, and after 5 years, when your money's doubled, guess what you do? You sell the house, and you use the money to do what?
Double up.
Double up, double your portfolio. Now, by the way, if you really like that, guess what's going to happen 5 years later?
It's like a reverse half-life.
It's like a reverse half-life. You're going to go for 4 homes. I don't even know what that means, reverse half-life. I'm going to buy 8 homes. At this home, I'm starting to go from making hundreds of thousands. I'm now getting that 7-figure magic range. You're becoming a millionaire for the first time.
This is just on the initial investment that you put in.
Yes.
You're using the first house to double up, so you don't even have to come up with 20,000 over and over and over again.
Yeah, so I think in understanding the game today, one of the things that I want you to understand is that you can be a realtor and investor. Investors make the real money like Marianne's talking about here, the thousands of people we've helped. And then whether you do or don't have money, Marianne, is there always a way to get in the game?
Always.
Is there always a way? There's always a way to get in the game.
Never take no for an answer.
Because Marianne started to, I remember when I hit you up on this idea of partnering all those years ago, you're like, hey Chris, guess what? I don't have any money. I'm like, I didn't either when I got started, but guess what? You found a way.
Well, yeah, that's the cool thing is you started with nothing. I started with nothing. We're both crushing it in real estate now.
Yeah. So my friends, today's video is really all about helping you understand how to actually take real estate and not just turn it into a small amount of money, not 50 grand, not 100 grand. How do you turn it into a lifestyle? Because by the way, when I had 25 homes, this is what it meant for me. My 25 properties ultimately equated to how much? A 6-figure residual income. And when you're producing 6 figures on a number of homes, you don't need a job anymore. The coolest thing was not just ditching my job. It was realizing that I can now figure out who I am and what I want to do with my life because I don't have to have a job. I got time freedom, and time freedom leads to a higher expression of purpose and passion and going to the next level. So my friends, thank you so much for watching today. There's some resources available to you in the description below. One of them is learning about Maverick. Another one is learning about partnering. Another one is just getting a consultation, talk to the team and say, all right, Chris, I dare you. Mark my words on this. Dare me, I dare you. I dare you to click that link and say, whatever your financial situation is, say, show me how to make $1 million. A member of my team will schedule an appointment, they will get with you, and they'll show you exactly how to make this happen. Thank you so much for watching today, and thank you, Marianne. Listen, did we keep it 12-year-old level?
I think we did.
We kept it 12-year-old level, and thank you so much for being here and watching today. Make sure you subscribe. We got more videos coming at you tomorrow to awaken your financial genius and help you live the life of your dreams, and ultimately, my friend, have it all.